invocations, Mangala Charan. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Sha Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. All together. Namayom Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Nayarayane Namine Vandeham Shri Guruvaram Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Prajarasa Rasikam Cha Narayanam Tam Prapanam Shri Guru Charanam Bande Ramana Prasthaya Putale Rupanuga Bhaktiram Cha Kripamurti Narayanam Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sutaksham Adhurya Madhurya Gunaishayuktam Varam Varanyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirashanamami Naimayom Vishnu Padaya Shri Keshava Priyatmane Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Vamane Iti Namine Gaura Bhava Maya Deha Ujjvala Rasa Bhavakaha Bhaktivedanta Vamano Raghabhakti Pravartaka Gurudhamne Cha Sevasu Vaishnave Sarvadhamati Grante Bhagavate Sakshat Goswami Vedante Rati Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Namayom Vishnu Padaya Charya Singha Rupine Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshavai Iti Namine Atimartaya Charitraya Swashritanam Chapaline Jivadukhe Sadartaya Shinama Premadayine Gaurashraya Vigrahaya Krishna Kamakachari Nuga Viroda Vinodete Swarupine Prabhupadantarangaya Sarva Sadguna Shaline Mayavada Tamognaya Vedantarta Vade Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vikyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Ujjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastate Namaste Gauravani Shrimurtaya Dinatarine Rupanuga Virodhapa Siddhantarvanta Harine Nama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshar Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padamba Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaurabhir Bhavavumestvam Nirdista Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Jayatam Surato Pangur Mama Mandar Mate Gati Matsavasva Paramboja Shirada Madana Mohano Divyarvindaranya Kapadrumadha Shimaratnagara Simhasanasto Shimaradha Shila Govinda Devo Prasthalivi Sevyo Manusmarami Shimarasarasarambhi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Harshavenu Sunar Gopir Gopinata Shriyastuna Om Vrindaya Tulasi Devyai Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha Panchadharmamakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll go to page 23. Shri Guru Parampara. Krishna hoite chatur mukha, hoya Krishna sevan mukha. Brahma hoite narade ramati, narada hoite vyasa, Lakshmi pati vyasa. Padmana Bhagate Hari Madhava Vamse Akshobhya Paramahanse Shishambali Ange Karakare Akshobhya Shisha Jaya Teta Name Parichaya Tarata se Kyana Sindhu Tarare Tahoete Daya Nidhi Tarada Savidya Rajendra Hoilo Tahoete Tahara Kinkara Jaya Dharmaname Parichaya Parampara Janabalamate Jaya Dharma Dasya Khyati Shri Purushottamam Jati Tahate Pramanyate Tasuri Vyasate Tatara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tahate Madhavendra Puri Varashishwara Shishwara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishwara Puri Ke Danya Karilena Shri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Gora Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya Rupanuga Janera Jivana Vishwambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatha Priya Kave Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vara Maharottama Seva Para Devasva Vishwanatayasha Vishwanata Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Shri Gora Kishora Vara Hare Bhajanete Jaramada Shri Varshavana Vivara Sara Sevya Seva Para Daharadaita Dasanama Prabhupada Yantaranga Shri Swarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakati Gauriya Vedanta Vetamaya Varata Mohanta Gauravani Prachara Chadhama Pacharila Gauravani Bhakati Vedanta Swami Hurilo Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priya Mahajana Vamanarayana Hana Gauravani Tade Paradhanam He Sava Hari Jana Gaurangara Nija Jana Tadara Uchista Marakam Guru Paramparam Guru Paramparam Paramparam Guru Paramparam Guru Paramparam Guru Paramparam Paramparam Page 36. Shri Vaishnav Vandana. Vrindavana Vasi Jato Vaishnavira Kana Pradame Vandana Kari Savaracharana Achala Vasi Jato Prabhupata Bhumite Patiya Banda Savaracharana Navadvipa Vasi Jato Ma Prabhupata Racharana Bando Anurakta Prabhu Bhakta Jatu Gora Deshastite Sabhara Charana Vando Korea Pranati Jedeshe Vaishe Gorangaragana Urvabahu Kori Vando Savaracharan Hayachena Hai Bena Prabhutyata Dasa Savaracharana Vando Tante Karigas Brahmanda Tarita Shakti Dhara Jana Jane Eveda Purana Guna Gaya Jeva Sune Mahaprabhu Gana Sabapati Tapavana Tahela Bemui Papiloy Nusharana Vandana Karite Mui Kata Shakti Dhari Dhamma Buddhi Dasha Mui Dhamma Matra Kari Tatapi Mukera Bhakya Manera Ulasha Dosakshami Moadhame Karani Jatasa Sarva Vansha Siddhi Hoy Yama Banda Chute Jagate Dulabha Hoya Prema Dana Manera Vasana Purna Achira Tehaya Devaki Nandana Dasa Ela Pekoy Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Oh my gosh, Krishna doesn't have his flute. Did you give him his flute? It's right on the white shelf over there. Oh no, I'm sorry. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Okay. Page 200. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu jive daya kori swapashara sviya dhama sahavatari atyanta dulabha prema koribare dhana shikhaya sharanagate bhakatera prana anyatmani vedana koptritvevarana avasya rakshibe krishna vishvasapalana bhakti anukula matra karara svikara bhakti pratikula bhava vachanangikara sharanga sharanagati haive jahara tahara pradhana sune shinanda kumara rupasanatana pade tante trinakari bhakati vinora pade dupadado kadiya kadiya bole amito adhama shikhaya sharanagate karahe utam jaya swapashara jaya kora hari swapashara jaya kora hari jaya swapashara jaya kora hari swapashara jaya kora hari. Anyone want to sing for Lord Nityananda, Panchatattva, Lord Nitai? Do you want to lead any bhajans today? So we're going to any Nitai bhajan. Yeah.
With the morning tune? I don't think I'm good at this. I can do another one though. Can I do Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava? Oh yeah, of course. Okay, so when we get there. Yeah, because I'm better at that one.
Okay, no problem. And anyone? Okay. We'll do Nitai. Page 60. Nice. I don't know if I can play proper mridanga for you, but I'll try my best. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai Abhimana Sunya Nitai Nagare Bedai Abhimana Sunya Nitai Nagare Bedai Atama Patita Jive Dware Dware Giya Harinama Mahamantra Dichena Bilaya Jare dekhe tare kahe dante trinadari Amare kiniya laho bolagora hari 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 bole Hari Hari Bole, Hari 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 Bole, Hari Hari Hari. Hari 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 Bole, Hari 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 Bole. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Eto bole Nityananda bhume gadi jaya, bole Nityananda. Sonara parvata chena dhulate lotaya, dhulate lotaya, dhulate lotaya. Sonara parvata chena dhulate lotaya. Heno avatare jararat na janmila. Lachan bole sei papi elohara gelo. Akrodha paramananda nityananda rai. Abhimana sunya nitai nagare bedai. Jaya nitai jaya gaur, jaya nitai jaya gaur. Jai. The noble Nityananda Prabhu, the personification of supreme transcendental bliss, is never angry. Devoid of all false ego, he wanders through the town. Going from door to door amongst the residents of lowly and fallen souls, he freely distributes the Harinam Maha Mantra. Holding a straw in his teeth, he calls out to whomever he sees, "Please purchase me by calling out Goda Hari! Goda Hari!" Speaking in this way, Nityananda Prabhu rolls on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain tumbling in the dust. Lochan Das says, that sinful person who has not experienced the awakening of attachment for such an avatar simply comes and goes, the endless cycle of birth and death. Jai Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Jai. Score. Yeah.
So that's going to be 169. Gai Gora Madhur Swadhi Gai Gora Madhur Swadhi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gai Gora Madhur Swadhi Grihe tako Vanita ko Sada Hari Bole tako Grihe tako Bole tako Sada Hari Bole tako Etako Vanitako Suke duke buli nako vadane hari nama karore karore kai gora madhu sware Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Gora Madhu Sware Maya Jale Bada Haye Acho Miche Kajala He Maya Jale Bada Haye Acho Miche Kajala He Maya Jale Bada Haye Acho Miche Kajala He Ekone Chaitanya Piye Radha Madhav Nam Bolo Re Gai Gora Madhu Sware Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Gora Madhu Sware Jivana Hoi Hilo Sis Nabajile Rishikesh Jivana Hoi Lilo Sis Nabajile Rishikesh Jivana Hoi Lilo Sis Nabajile Rishikesh Bhakti Vidod Upades Ekabar Nama Rase Matore Gai Gora Madhu Sware Gai Gora Madhu Sware Jaya Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai, Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai.
Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Hare Hare Krishna Hare Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gopta. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Shri Rupa Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. Echai Gosar Kori Charanara Bandhan. Daha Haite Vikta Nasha Abhishtat Puran. Echai Gosai Jaramohitara Das. Tassa Bara Padarenu Mora Panchagras. Tatar Charan Sevi Bhakta Sanavas. Janame Hoya E Abhilash. Echai Gosai Jabe Vraja Koilavash. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash. Anande Balo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Jayamana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriyash. Padma Koriya. Nama Sankirtana Kahe Narottama Das. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriya. Nama Sankirtana Kahe Narottama Das. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. I offer pranam unto you, O Hari, O Krishna, O Yadav, O Madhav, O Keshav, O Gopal, Govinda Ram, Shri Madhusudan, O Giridhari Gopinath, Madanand Mohan. I offer pranam to Shri Chaitanya, Nityananda, and Shri Advaita, O maintainers, along with Shri Hari, Guru, Vaishnav, the Bhagavad Puran, and the Bhagavad Gita. I offer pranam unto Shri Rup, Shri Sanatan, Shri Raghunath Pat Jiva, Shri Jiva, Shri Gopal Bhatt, and Shri Raghunath Das Goswamis. I worship the lotus feet of these 6 Goswamis, by whose mercy all obstacles are destroyed and all desires are fulfilled. I am the servant of those who belong to the 6 Goswamis. The dust of their lotus feet is my 5-fold sustenance. To serve their lotus feet and reside in the company of devotees is my aspiration, birth after birth. When these 6 Goswamis resided in Braj, they revealed the eternal pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Blissfully sing the names of Sri Hari and worship Vrindavan, immersing your mind in the lotus feet of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. Aspiring for the lotus feet of Sri Guru, the Vaishnavas, Narottam Das sings Hari Nam Sankirtan. Hari Hare Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Hari Nama, Jaya Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Jaya Hari Nama. Jaya Narottam Das, Jaya Narottam Das, Narottam Das, Jaya Narottam Das.
Should I read the translation when I'm finished singing? You've been doing that or just me? Yeah, after, right? Okay. 341. I'll read it beforehand. Read the translation beforehand. O Radhe, all glories to you, O beloved of Madhava. Your glories are sung by the circle of the youthful maidens of Gokula. O you whose attire increases Damodar's affection. O queen of the Vrindavan forest, you are the pleasure garden of Sri Hari. From the ocean of Rishabhanu Maharaj, you arise like the new moon. O dearmost friend of Lalita, O you who captivate the heart of Vishaka with your charming qualities. Bestow your compassion upon me, O you who brim with compassion. Your transcendental qualities and character are described by Sanaka and Sanatana. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya, Madhava Dahite. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya, Madhava Dahite. Gokula Taruni, Mandala Mahite. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya, Madhava Dahite. Damodara Vrati, Vardhana Veshe, Hari Niskuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Radhe Damodara Vrati, Vardhana Veshe, Hari Niskuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Radhe Damodara Vrati, Vardhana Veshe, Hari Niskuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Jaya Jaya Madhava Dahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dahite Rishabhanu Dadi Navasasi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Radhe Rishabhanu Dadi Navasasi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Radhe Vrishabhanu Dadi Navasasi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dahite Karunam Kurumahi Karunam Barite Sanaka Sanatana Vahanita Charite Radhe Radhe Karunam Kurumahi Karunam Barite Sanaka Sanatana Vahanita Charite Radhe Radhe Karunam Kurumai Karunam Varite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dahite Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Haribo Jai Radhe Radhe Sham Haribo Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo. Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo.
Jnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Yam Pravajantam Anapeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taduajuhava Putre Chitanmayatayo Tadavo Benedush Tangsarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vahinaya Aparada Lakshai Chiptas Chakamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapadye Vrinde Namaste Charanara Vrindam Tavevasmi, Tavevasmi, Najivami Tambina, Iti Vigaya Radhe, Tam Nayanam Charanantike. First out from my heartfelt obeisances to my beloved Holy Master, Nitla Vishwam Vishnu Pada Sota Sot Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, also unto Nitla Vishwam Vishnu Pada Sota Sot Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Bharti Goswami Maharaj, unto His Divine Grace, Nitla Vishwam Vishnu Pada Sota Sot Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and to our entire Rupanuga Varga, to all the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, welcome. So, we're very fortunate to be on Navadvipa Parikrama. Last night we slept. Did we go back to the Mat? Did we go to Shikeshwar Jagoti Mat in Navadvip? Or did we stay in Shamantadweep? I don't remember. I think we went back to the Mat. And then we had our two friends from New York and Texas fly in to meet us out here in the Holy Dham. So if you're ready, hope your feet are strong. It's a lot of walking today. So we've been to Mayapur, which is Antardweep, which represents what, Lima Bhakti? Prabhu's birthplace. Good. Yes. In Mayapur, we fully surrender ourselves, fully. And then we went to Shamantadweep, where we heard about Parvati and the Sindur, right? So that's hearing. I always remember hearing. I remember that because Parvati heard Bhagavatam from Lord Shiva, in which she fell asleep until 10th canto, but she was still hearing. So Shamantadweep correlates to hearing. And then, did we go anywhere else? I think that was it so far, right? Yeah. So today we are going to Srimajadweep, which correlates to remembering, Smaranam. We'll see how we can remember that. Although, oh yeah, Haridas had a good one. I don't remember what it was, but it was a good one. Oh, we went to Gojumadweep also yesterday. Gojumadweep is, what's Gojumadweep, Sumuki? Kirtana. Yeah. Haridas had a funny one, but I remember it because Gojumadweep is the place of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he's written like almost all of our kirtans. So Kirtanam. All right, so here we go. We are going to leave from the Mat now and get on the do some kirtan to Majadweep. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai, here we are in Shri Majadweep. So bow down to this holy land, take the dust. Our heads, our heart, our eyes, our ears. I like to put some in my mouth so it goes and purifies my whole insides. All right, I'll read from Shinavaduttam Mahatmya first. Who's leading who here? Jai. On and the first one. First Navadvipa Dhama Parikrama. Good. Okay, so here they go. When they arrived in Majidweep, Shriman Nityananda Prabhu smiled and said, "This is the village of Majida. Here the 7 sages, Maritri, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Kratu, Pulastya, and Vashishta, happily rested and worshipped Sri Gaurachandra. In Satya Yuga, those sages heard Sri Gaurahari's glories from their father, Brahma. Hearing about Sri Gaura's glories, they became enchanted and begged Brahma to give them the eternal treasure of Gaura Prem. The 4-headed Sri Brahma became pleased by hearing their appeal and said, "All of you go to Sri Navadvipa Dham and sing the glories of Sri Gaurahari. You will easily attain Prem. One who has gained the mercy of the Dham will attain the association of saintly personalities as a result. By continuously performing bhajan and the association of sadhus, one will dive deep into Krishna Prem. To be engrossed in Prem is a matter of supreme joy. One whose heart is attached to Sri Navadvipa Dham will attain residence in Braj. To chant Sri Gaurahari's name while staying in the transcendental holy abode of Sri Navadvip is the only desire of the sadhus." The 7 sages thoroughly understood their father's instruction and came to this place. They chanted Hari's name, danced, and loudly sang of the glories of Sri Gaurahari, praying for the attainment of Prem. As they chanted, they began to pray, "O Gaurahari, please have mercy on us by finally giving us your darshan just once. We have followed many varieties of religious paths and thereby committed offenses, but now we have made bhakti the sole aim and object of our lives." In this way, the sages underwent austerities and worshipped Sri Gaurahari with exclusive faith and bhakti. They completely gave up eating and sleeping and just chanted his name. One day at noon, the supremely compassionate Sri Gaurahari appeared with the rest of the Panchatattva and gave his darshan to the sages. The Lord's divine body was glowing like 100 suns shining together. This form of his attracted even the minds of the yogis. How astonishing was Shriman Mahaprabhu's beautiful golden form. Around his neck he wore a garland of forest flowers. The rays shining forth from his ornaments illuminated the 10 directions. Shriman Mahaprabhu's glance was most beautiful, and his hair was long and curly. A spot of sandalwood pulp decorated his forehead. He wore a dhoti folded in 3 places, and his chest was beautifully adorned with a sacred thread. A garland of malika flowers dangled gracefully from his neck. They were all enchanted upon seeing Mahaprabhu's form and requested him thus, "O Lord, we have now taken shelter at your lotus feet. Mercifully grant us the wealth of bhakti." Sri Gaurahari heard their prayer and kindly replied, "Please listen, O sages. Abandon all other desires except one, service to Sri Krishna. Throw off the shackles of jnana and karma and only cultivate devotion to Sri Krishna. Within a short time, I will unfold my pastimes in Nadia. At that time, all of you will be able to behold my pastimes of chanting the holy names of the Lord. For now, I order you, however, to keep all of these topics confidential. Go to Sri Kumara Hatta and worship Sri Krishna at the ghats you have constructed." Sri Kumara Hatta. After Sri Gaurahari disappeared from their vision, the 7 sages went to Sri Kumara Hatta. Look, even now these 7 beautiful hillocks stand as testimony to their worship. These 7 hillocks appear just like the constellation of the 7 sages in the sky. Just by living here, one can attain Sri Gaurahari without even following any rules and regulations. Yeah, wow. Why don't we? Kumara Hut, Majidweep. So, Jai. Oh, then there's Naimi Saranya. Let's see. Let me read the Navadvipa Dhama Parikrama book first. It's almost the same thing. Let's see. was interesting, right? Sandalwood. Where was that? Shivananda Sain has a dog. A spot of sandalwood pulp decorated his forehead. Oh. And I think our Mahaprabhu needs a sacred thread. He doesn't have one, does he? Huh? He needs one. He used to have one. It says his chest was beautifully adorned with a sacred thread. The Navadvipa Dhama Parikrama book says pretty much the same thing. So we'll keep with the Mahatmya. Naimi Sharanya. O Jiva, the river you see flowing in the southern direction is the supremely sacred Gomati. Close by is Naimi Sharanya. In the Kali Yuga of the previous Kalpa, when the influence of Kali became excessive, Shanaka and other sages joyfully heard the Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami. Wow. The explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam related to the glories of Gaur. Srimad Bhagavatam according to the philosophy of Shri Gaura Hari. All the miseries are vanquished of that person who studies the Puranas in this place during the month of Kartik. He becomes absorbed in Shri Gaura Hari's pastimes and easily attains Braj. Once, Panchanana, Lord Shiva, came here with his devotees, riding on Lord Brahma's swan carrier, having given up his own carrier, Nandi, the bull. He heard Shri Gaura Hari's pastimes recited just as they are described in the Puranas. The followers of Lord Shiva from Kashi surrounded Panchanana. They continuously sang Shri Gaura Hari's name, danced, and showered flowers on Lord Shiva. Upon hearing these words of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, asa sattvic bhavs arose in the heart of Shri Jiva, and he began rolling in the dust of that place. Relishing the influence of that holy place, he was not able to maintain his composure. The devotees spent that day there together with Sri Nitai Chand. The next day, they all proceeded onward for darshan of Shri Pushkar. That person, Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in whose heart the worship of Shri Janava Devi and Shri Nityananda Prabhu is always manifest, is singing of the glories of Shri Nadia and the sweetness of the devotees being full of affection. So beautiful. Let's see if this is anything different in here. I want to go on to Koladweep. There's also Brahman Pushkar. I guess we should read that. Pushkar Tirtha. I'm going to read this book. Okay, now we walk a few minutes to Pushkar Tirtha. The present name of Brahman Pushkar is Vaman Pokar or Vamanpura. In such a yuga, a Brahmin named Jivan Das came here while visiting all the holy places and took up residence here. His ardent desire to take bath in Pushkar Tirtha made him extremely restless. As he slept that night, he heard a divine voice in his dream. Remain here. How do you go? Remain here for some time, chanting the holy name of the Lord, and your desire will be fulfilled. He made a hut and performed bhajan here until the end of his life. In his very old age, Tirtharaj Pushkar mercifully appeared to him in the form of a beautiful pond, and told him to take bath. Oh, the pond told him to take bath? Right? Upon doing so, the Brahmin was blessed with a divine vision in which he directly saw the personification of Tirtharaj Pushkar. Pushkar Raj mercifully instructed him, O Brahmin, whatever benefit a person attains by taking 100 baths in all the other holy places, he attains by residing in Navadvipa Dham for just one night. Therefore, I will also reside here eternally, along with all the holy places of the earth. In the upcoming Kali Yuga, Shri Gaura Hari will manifest in Navadvipa Dham and distribute Krishna Prem through the chanting of Krishna's holy names. You will take birth at that time and have the good fortune of seeing his pastimes. Pardon? Yeah, it's so amazing how it's all like he comes and he confidentially tells different devotees that he's going to appear, but don't tell anyone. It's confident. He reveals these confidential topics to different Brahmins. What's gonna happen? Pardon? I know. I'll have to ask Hermione. Maybe she can come down soon. Why does Mahaprabhu secretly reveal that he's coming to all these Brahmins? Hmm? Yeah, because they're praying for it. Yeah, like now we're gonna go to Koladweep, and it's so interesting too. That's really interesting. There was one more place here in Majadweep, the Panchaveni. Actually, Uchahata. There's two. Uchahata, which is also called Hatha Danga Gram, is Kurukshetra within Brahmavart, a tract of land between the rivers Jamuna and Ganga. On one side flows the Saraswati River, and on the other side the Drishadvati. Taking all his associates with him, Mahaprabhu passed through Brahman Pushkar and came here, while performing kirtan with up to 14 mridangas. All the demigods would come and loudly chant Gaura's name in unison and narrate his pastimes. Therefore, this place is called Uchahata. Ucha means in a loud voice, and Hata means gathering. It is also known as Hata Danga, which means the place where the demigods assemble. If one always resides in Navadvipa at Uchahata, which is non-different from Kurukshetra, and performs bhajan here, one will quickly attain Shri Gaura Sundar's mercy. Jai. And then there's Panchaveni. We could take Akshman from the. This is Panchaveni is situated near Uchahata. It is the confluence of the Bhagavati Ganga as well as the Mandakini, Alakananda, and Saraswati, which is hidden. We could take bath too. On the western side, the Ganga meets with Bhogavati and Manasa Ganga. This place is the glorious Mahaprayag. Grandsire Brahma performed millions of sacrifices on the Ganga's two banks. If a living entity dies here, in the water, or the land, or in the sky, he effortlessly attains Shri Golokadam. All rivers converge here to perform service to Shri Gaur. This is the conclusion of Shri Vedavyas and other omniscient sages. There is no other holy place in the 14 planetary systems equal to this Panchaveni. Sriman Mahaprabhu's sacred pastimes easily manifest in the hearts of those who reverentially remember him while taking bath or performing Akshman here. Loving devotion for Sri Radha Krishna's lotus feet then manifests in their hearts. Jai Shri Madhyadweep Ki. What's your secret for remembering that this is Smarnam? Something about mid. Oh, you remember the Madhya means middle, right? Nice. Madhya maybe. Maybe you'll remember. Maybe you won't. Jai. Okay. All right. Now we get to go to our favorite island, Shikoladweep. So we'll keep walking. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, we could have started there because we woke up there, but we went to Madhya and now we're back. Pardon? Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So Shikoladweep is very special, very dear to us. This is where our Gurudev's temple is, Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Mat, and our Param Gurudev's temple, Shri Devananda Gaudiya Mat. And where our dear Srila Vaman Srila Trivikram Raj, those our Shiksha Gurus who are close to us, Haribo, developed this mat. She actually very interesting story as well. Srila Gurudev said that he's always the secretary of Shri Devananda Gaudiya Math. He would always be the secretary, even when they pushed him out. He said, "I'm still the secretary. My Gurudev has put it down on paper." When there was some breakup, actually, I don't know if I should share this online, but everyone, Srila Gurudev asked Shamrani Didi to paint um, the deity of his Gurudev, Param Gurudev, and so she went on the altar, like she had her little like art, her paints, and then the some devotees were saying, "Oh, you can't. You're a woman. You can't go on the altar." You know, they were criticizing her, and she agreed with them. She's like, "I know, but my Gurudev has ordered me to paint the deity." So that was one thing that upset them, but it was pretty ecstatic. But yeah, Devananda Gaudiya is. We can go. Oh, let's read about Kuldeep first. Param Gurdev's room in Devananda Gaudiya Math is so ecstatic, and there's this uh, brahmachari that's served in his room for like ever. And he's probably, I saw a video of him. I thought he left his body, but he's still there. He's like 90, and he's like hunched over, and he's so sweet. Every time someone comes in, he opens. There's like a box like this of Param Gurdev's shoes, and he opens the box so nicely, and he takes the shoes and he puts them on everyone's head, and he puts them back. It's so sweet, so sweet. Okay, so Koladweep. Koladweep includes such places as Ganga Prasad, Samudragar, Champahata, Gada Kalikachar, Kolmada, Paramediya, Gada Kalira, Tegaripad, and Tegarikola. It also includes the present city of Navadvip, which is called Aparad Manjana Pat, which is also a very significant and important place for us because I don't know about you all, but for me, I'm so full of aparads and offenses. So by going there and rolling in the dust and begging for forgiveness, we are easily forgiven. So very merciful that our Guru Parampara has arranged a mat for us in this holy place. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in his informative article on Kuliya Dham, published in the magazine Sajantoshini, that on this earth, Shri Kuliya Pahada within Navadvip is unparalleled. On the western bank of the Ganga, near the confluence of the Panchavani, is the raised land called Kuliya Pahada. Shri Koladev, which is a name for Varahadev, the boar incarnation, appeared in Koladweep. So there's a really beautiful story that we'll hear about a Brahmin named Vasudev. Here's the Lord Boar. Jai. This is a bas relief painting that we did for the Govardhan Mat, or Shamrani Didi. I put we. There's no we. There's no. I'm not included in that. But this is Srila Gurudev really was adamant that he's ordered that we have the Das Avatar. She has the Das Avatar in the Govardhan temple. He did Govardhan bas reliefs, and then he said also have Das Avatar there. So, yeah, okay. And so in the temple in Shikesha Gaudiya Math and also in Devananda Gaudiya Math, there's a deity of Lord Boar in both temples. Okay, so in Satya Yuga, there was a Brahmin, and his name was Vasudev, and he was worshipping Varahadev. And Lord Varaha was so pleased with his worship that he appeared before him first as Lord Varaha and then as Lord Nishingadev. Upon seeing the form of Nishinga, who protected Prahlad from Hiranyakasipu, the fortunate Brahmin became restless with love and began to glorify the Lord. So pleased with him, the Lord again assumed his mountain-like form as Koladev and spoke the following words. This Navadvip Dham, which is Gupta Vrindavan, or hidden Vrindavan, is very dear to me. No other Dham in the three worlds can compare to it, and all other Dhams on the earth are eternally situated in their full splendor within it. And that's how we heard yesterday from Srimati Sharmani Di. That's why Navadvip is the highest. Like sometimes people would say, well, Jagannath Puri is higher because Mahaprabhu and the Gambhira displayed such ecstatic, um, his joints would come like apart. He would get thin. He would, it was just he would be able to get out through the walls. Sevaks wouldn't even notice. They slept in front of the door, and still he got out, and he would float down, the ocean, chanting, "Hari, Hari, Hari," And so sometimes people think because of those ecstatic symptoms of his separation from Radharani that Puri is higher, but all but Vrindavan Dham does not exist in a piece of it does, but mostly the Vrindavan doesn't exist in Puri, but all the islands, all the Vans, all the 12 forests of Vrindavan exist in Navadvip. So that's why he's saying no other Dham in the three worlds can compare to it, and all other Dhams on the earth are eternally situated in their full splendor within it. Yay, you made it to Koladweep. Resonance here easily grants the result of residing in all other holy places. In Kali Yuga, Lord Shri Krishna, having accepted Srimati Radhika's mood and complexion, will appear as Shri Gauranga in Shri Navadvip Dham. Oh, here's another confidential reveal. While performing various pastimes with his associates, he will propagate the chanting of the holy name and in this way distribute love of God to the common people. You will take birth at that time and receive the fortune of beholding those pastimes. For now, however, keep this secret. With these words, Shikola Dev disappeared, and Shri Vasudev Vipra continued his worship of the Lord. Wow. Koladweep is not different from... Oh, kind of. Govardhan. Yeah. And Bahulavan is in Koladweep's northern part, and the place of Ras Leela of Shridam Vrindavan is in the southern part. Oh, and I was thinking, I always think this, Gurudev, when we would go on Parikrama of Govardhan with Gurudev, he would always, even in his advanced years, like when he wouldn't come so much anymore to different places, he would always come to Sarabi Kund. And because that's also another place that's where Indra asked for forgiveness. And so then Gurudev rebuilt that place. He paid for, his doctor disciple renovated it through Gurudev. And so Gurudev would always come there. He would take prasad with us there. He would sit with us there and give us his remnants, like freely, just they'd be passing them around. And so I always thought, I don't know, I've never had this confirmed, but that Gurudev was so, always went there. And then he built his mat in Aparad Bhajan stall, which is a place where all offenses are forgiven. So he's like, Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavanyaya. I always feel like Gurudev is Mahavanyaya, extra merciful to us. Where are we? Koladweep is also called Aparad Bhanjan Kulia, or Kulia, the place where offenses are destroyed. After taking sannyas, Shriman Mahaprabhu went to Shri Puri Dham. He traveled for some time in South India and then returned to Puri. Later, he traveled again, this time to take darshan of Shridham Vrindavan. Thousands of people accompanied him as he passed through places such as Panihati, Kumarahat, and Kanchanapali, until he finally arrived at Vidya Vachaspati's house in Vidyanagar. The crowds were so great that for 7 days, Mahaprabhu stayed in Madhavadasa's house in Kulia. While he was here, he delivered Gopal Chapala, a resident of Kulia, who was an offender to both the Vaishnavas and the holy name, and Devananda Pandit, who also offended the Vaishnavas. Did he offend? Okay, good. So then Gurudev tells about these two. Gopal Chakravarti was a government tax collector who worked under Sri Haranya and Govardhan Majumdar. Wow. The well-known residents of Septagram. Who are they? He was highly scholarly and very beautiful. One day, the royal priest, Balaram Pandit, went with Sri Haridas Thakur to the royal court of Sri Haranya and Govardhan. Srila Haridas Thakur proceeded to glorify the holy name, saying, "What to speak of uttering one pure name, the utterance of a mere semblance of the holy name, spoken to indicate something else, sanket, jokingly, parihas, disrespectfully, avahela, derisively, stoba avagya, or inattentively, upeksha, can easily bestow liberation. Pure chanting of the holy name awards Krishna Prem, by which one attains Vaikuntha, or above that, Shri Golokadam." Haridas Thakur's statement greatly angered Gopal, who contemptuously insulted him. Liberation is only attained by Gyan. It can never be attained by Harinam. If one can attain liberation by chanting the holy name, then let my nose rot and fall off. And if Haridas's statement is wrong, let his nose rot and fall off. A tumult broke out in the assembly. Balaram Pandit said, "You have offended the exalted Vaishnav, Haridas Thakur. There will never be any auspiciousness for you. You have guaranteed your own destruction due to your terrible offense to a Vaishnav." After this incident, Govardhan Das dismissed Gopal Chakravarti from his service. And although Mahabhagavat Haridas Thakur didn't take any offense, he's the personification of forgiveness and tolerance, Gopal still became afflicted by leprosy 3 days after this incident. His beautiful champak flower-like nose, his fingers and his toes rotted away. After many days, Mahaprabhu came to Kliyagram, and Gopal Chakravarti went to see him. Weeping, he surrendered to the supremely merciful Mahaprabhu and begged forgiveness for his Vaishnava aparad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forgave this Nama Aparadi Brahmin and instructed him to continuously chant the holy name. Gopal Chakravarti did so, and his leprosy soon disappeared, leaving him beautiful as before. Now, he was Bhagavan's devotee, highly dedicated to the holy name and a servant of the Vaishnavas. Then there's another resident, Navadvipa, Gopal Chapala. He became so envious of Shiva's Pandit that he could not tolerate the Sankirtan at Shivas's house and tried to disturb him in different ways. Oh yeah. At night, it's outside and everyone was sleeping. In the middle of the night, he put all Durga paraphernalia in front of his house to show that this so-called Vaishnav is worshipping Durga. He's posing as a Vaishnav. And then when Shivas came out and saw that, what did he do? Yes, of course So this is in the Harmony book. This pastime is there as well, showing like when someone accuses us of something, instead of retaliating and defending ourselves, and which is what I tend to do. That we just, be humble and yes, I'm exposed. So by this offense, Gopal Chapala soon became afflicted with leprosy. After sannyas, Mahaprabhu came to Kulia. Gopal Chapala came to him, falling at his feet, began to weep. Mahaprabhu told him to beg forgiveness from Shivas Pandit. He fell, weeping at Shivas Pandit's feet, and by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, his health returned. And then one more example of someone who was offensive and who was forgiven and then became a great devotee in Navadvip is Devananda Pandit. He was considered a great teacher of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he would instruct many students in his home in Kulia Nagar on the Ganga's western bank. Once, the Mahabhagavat, Shivas Pandit, passed by Devananda Pandit's house and heard Srimad Bhagavatam being recited. So he went in and sat down to listen. As Devananda Pandit described Krishna's pastimes, Shivas Pandit was unable to remain calm. He wept loudly and rolled on the ground. Devananda Pandit's students, who were devoid of Bhav Bhakti, could not understand Shivas Pandit's Asta Sattvika Bhavs. Considering him a disturbance to their studies, they threw him out of the house. And Devananda Pandit remained silent. He didn't do anything about it. He didn't stop them. When news of this incident came to Mahaprabhu, he angrily said, "Devananda does not understand a single letter of the Bhagavatam, which is Sri Krishna personified and completely transcendental. So what can he teach? Srimad Bhagavatam cannot even remain near him. He is an offender to both Vaishnavas and the Bhagavatam. I will tear up his false Bhagavatam and throw it away." Oh. Sometime later, Devananda Pandit met Shipundarik Vidyanidhi, one of Mahaprabhu's associates. Vidyanidhi mercifully gave him lucid instructions on philosophical knowledge about the devotees, Bhagavatam, and the Supreme Lord. He revealed to Devananda Pandit many confidential truths about Sriman Mahaprabhu and Srivas Pandit. Remembering his previous behavior, Devananda Pandit became filled with remorse. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Kaliya after accepting sannyas, Devananda Pandit came before him and in great humility repeatedly begged forgiveness for his offense. Sriman Mahaprabhu told him to beg pardon from Srivas Pandit directly. Devananda approached Srivas Pandit, an incarnation of Naradaji, the personification of mercy. Srivas forgave all his offenses and requested Mahaprabhu to show Devananda Pandit mercy. Thus he did, and made him qualified to attain love of God. When the teacher, Nimai Pandit, was living in Sri Navadvipa Dham, the prominent professors and students there opposed him and ridiculed his devotional mood. For the welfare of these ignorant people bereft of bhakti, Nimai Pandit left Navadvip and took sannyas. Now, having understood his glory, the teachers and students repented. When Nimai Pandit returned as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Kaliya Nagar, after accepting sannyas, they all came to Madhavadasa's house to see him. Weeping, they begged forgiveness at his feet, and the supremely merciful Mahaprabhu pardoned them. From that time, they all became devotees. Because these pastimes took place here, Kaliya Gram is known as Aparad Banjana Pat, the place where offenses are destroyed. Jai, Shikoladweep ki jai. There's many holy places that we're going to visit, but that's the. Just wanted to look at something. Sorry. Yeah, I was just looking at Devananda Gaudiya, why if it says why it's called Devananda Gaudiya. Anyway, so we can go there after. Oh, there's a lot of places. Pardon? Oh, that's Devananda Gaudiya. Yeah, Thakurji there, incredible. Okay, so we will walk to Prodamaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We've arrived at this very, very mystical place. It's like really there's like this huge banyan tree, and then you like enter into this banyan tree, and there's like all these shops around, and then and then in there no, we're still in Cold Week. Yeah, then like you go through this like tunnel, like this like yeah, it's really far out, and then there's a temple there of Prodamaya. I'm always a little bewildered when I go there. But let's see. I will get some mercy now. Andhradweep, south of Mayapur, is the place of Ridashiva and Prodamaya, the protectors of the Dham. They reside here eternally, bewildering those opposed to the Lord. I think I'm opposed to the Lord. Every time I go there to this place, every year I would be so bewildered. Like, where are we? Anyways, and engaging those who are favorably disposed towards him in Shigor's service. Although they reside in Andhradweep eternally, when the larger part of Mayapur was lost and the Ganga's flow, Prodamaya was worshipped by the devotees in Kulia, Pahadapur. Today people call this place Podamatala. When Sri Krishna took birth from Mother Yashoda's womb, this same Yogamaya also appeared. Yogamaya is one of the Supreme Lord's Parashaktis, or superior internal potencies, and she serves him in various forms. In Nanda Bhavan, or in Braj, she, as Yogamaya, bewilders Mother Yashoda into feeling that Krishna is her son. Overpowered by a parental mood, Yashoda binds Krishna to the mortar, chastises him, and nurtures him. All of Krishna's pastimes are accomplished by Yogamaya. And to bewilder and punish Kamsa and other demons, she manifests as Mahamaya in Mathura. The various forms of Mahamaya, such as Durga, Kali, Bhadra, Vindhyavasini, Kamakya, and Chandi, bewilder materialistic people by bestowing upon them wealth, opulence, sons, family, and so forth. And as Yogamaya Purnamasi, she bestows transcendental power, Chit Shakti, upon the living entities and grants them the eligibility to serve the youthful divine couple, Shri Radha and Krishna. Yogamaya places a covering over the Lord's abode so that those opposed to him cannot enter. And with a net of her Mahamaya, she keeps fruitive workers, dry mental speculators, and others away, depriving them of darshan of the Dham. So she's here. There's a Yogamaya, Protomaya, and then there's also Mahamaya, known as Ma Bhavatarini. And then the temple of Riddhishiv, all here in Protomaya on the island of Koladweep. So we offer our pranams, pray that really enter the Dham, not the what's the external covering called? Just a prakash. Anyways. Okay, we'll walk a little further. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now we've arrived at Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj's Samadhi in Bhajan Kutir. He's very ecstatic, very, very prominent Vaishnava in our life. And prominent Vaishnava of Kuliagram. Is very, very famous. So, and this is the picture of the tree where underneath where he was do his bhajan. Still there. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj used to reside at Suryakund in Braj Mandal, where he performed his bhajan. But at the end of his life, he moved to Shri Navadvipa Dham. It was his habit to loudly chant the Mahamantra. He was recognized as the most prominent scholar of his time. He was also acknowledged as being most expert in relishing transcendental mellows and the most perfected Vaishnav in Gaudamandal, Brajmandal, and Kshetramandal. He is therefore known as Vaishnav Sarvabhauma, the topmost Vaishnav. At Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's request, this great personality determined Sridham Mayapur to be the birthplace of Shri Gaur. On his order, a grand temple was constructed in Mayapur at the birthplace of Shri Gaur, where the deities of Shri Gaur, Vishnu Priya, Lakshmi Priya, and Panchatattva are presently worshipped. In the Bengali year 1302 AD, 1895, 2 years after Mayapur Dham was located, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj entered his unmanifest pastimes. He had appeared in a village in the Tangaila portion of the Mahaman Singha district in East Bengal, Bangladesh, and remained in this material world for approximately 144 years. And here's when Bhaktivinoda Thakur put him in the basket to confirm Mahaprabhu's birthplace. He was jumped out of the basket. It is said that in an act of great mercy, he infused his entire strength in bhajan and his knowledge of the scriptures, culminating in prem bhakti, into the heart of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Once, the disciples of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj complained to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, "We gave up our homes to learn bhajan from Babaji Maharaj, but what did he do? He's instructing us on how to grow flowers and vegetables. He's not educating us and meditating on Shri Krishna's Astasattva Leela, eightfold pastimes. Please request him to train us in bhajan." Bhaktivinoda Thakur replied, growing tulsi, flowers, fruits, and vegetables for the service of the deity will purify the living entities who are afflicted by offenses and desires in the heart, opposed to bhakti. Otherwise, it is not possible for them to chant the pure transcendental name. If unqualified persons meditate on these confidential pastimes, their anartas will substantially increase, and gradually they will be unable to perform bhajan. We will benefit by performing our sadhan according to Srila Babaji Maharaj's instructions. I wish we were on the live stream right now because I feel like I can never share like personal stuff. Oh, she's listening. It's okay. So Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj used to save whatever donations people gave to him. One day he ordered his disciples to buy rasgullas and other sweets, offer them to the deity, and give the prasad to the cows and dogs of the Dham. His disciples, however, wanted to invite all the Babajis for prasad, have a great festival. What was Babaji Maharaj's reply? It is more beneficial to feed the cows and dogs of the Dham than to feed these so-called Vaishnavas who outwardly are dressing with, as Vaishnavas with big tilak and big beads, but who secretly engage in illicit activities. By feeding the animals of the Dham, one will enter pure bhakti. All the rasagullas were then given to the cows and the dogs. You got all that prasad you're bringing today? Honey, all that rice and leftover. I think there's leftover stuff for the pigs. In his extreme old age, Babaji Maharaj's eyelids drooped so low that they obstructed his vision. There was a dog where he lived that had 6 or 7 puppies. When his disciples brought him Mahaprasad, he would wait for the puppies to come to him and count them with his fingers. Then he let them eat from his plate. Wow. Only after they had eaten would he himself honor prasad. If his disciples hid the puppies from him, he, displeased, would not honor prasad. He would indignantly say, "You people do not understand. These are the puppies of the Dham. They're not ordinary." I'm sorry, I know this is like totally all about me, but I have to say, I had a dog. Me and 2 of my god sisters, Rinna Didi and someone else, we went at like 5 in the morning we walked from Vrindavan to Mansarovar, like through the fields. It was super hot, so we left at 5 in the morning. And this dog walked like 10 feet after we started, a dog joined us and he walked us the whole way there. It was so amazing. And as we were walking through the fields, there was this tree and there were some other dogs that started barking at us and he just barked back. And he kept walking, we kept walking. And when we got to Mansarovar, he just sat down right in front. And then I went in to buy some cookies for him. And when I came back, he was gone. Yeah, it was super. It's amazing. So these animals of the Dham, it's amazing. They're not ordinary. I will not take anything until they come here and honor prasad with me. Such was Babaji Maharaj's firm faith in the Dham. His disciples used to carry him in a basket on their heads, sometimes to Mayapur, sometimes to Godrum Kunj, and sometimes to other places. Upon arriving at Mahaprabhu's birthplace in Shridham Mayapur, he sang and danced, jumping high into the air. So Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki. Then we go on just a few doors down to Srila Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj's Bhajan Kutir. Srila Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj, the crest jewel of Avadhuts and Paramahamsas, performed bhajan from time to time here. He would also perform his bhajan at Krishna's various pastime places in Braj, such as Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radhakund, Suryakund, Nandagram, and Varshana. His bhajan was characterized by severe renunciation. So extreme, in fact, that when he felt hungry, he sometimes ate mud from Radhakund or the Jamuna. I've heard that he became blind because of that. I don't know if that's... In a mood of separation from the divine couple, he would cry out, "Oh Radha, oh Krishna," and he would wander from forest to forest singing. Radhe, Radhe. In his later life, he came to Sri Navadvipa to get the mercy of the Dham. And Srila Gorkashas Babaji Maharaj, he vowed never to take any disciples, but Shri Bimala Prasad, who became Saraswati Thakur, he vowed to fast to death if Gorkashas Babaji Maharaj didn't give him initiation. So, and that's similarly like Lokanath Das Thakur and Narottam Das, right? Lokanath Das would, Narottam Das, right? Yeah, Narottam Das was begging. He kept saying no, no, and then he would clean up his stool in the night, in the middle of the night. He would clean up the forest. Finally, Lokanath Das accepted him. So, him vowing till fast to death, combined with the request of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to give him initiation, that resulted in Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj giving initiation to this boy, Saraswati, who became famous in the world as Om Vishnupad Shishima Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Jai. Babaji Maharaj regarded honor and prestige harmful to bhajan. He therefore carefully avoided it, considering it to be like the stool of a pig. People would disturb him to receive blessings for their material desires, such as wealth, followers, sons, and family. Once, to avoid such materialistic people, Babaji Maharaj went to live in an abandoned latrine in the government dharmashal in Kulia. When the district magistrate came to know of this, he went to him with the police superintendent. But Babaji locked the door from inside, and although they waited for a long time, he wouldn't open it. He wouldn't come out to meet them. According to him, the association of materialistic people was more disgusting than the stench of excrement and an obstacle for bhakti. Yet, who did he open the door for? Jai. When he went there with a godbrother, Babaji Maharaj said, I'm sick, I can't open the door. But then when Param Gurudev said, I'm a servant of Saraswati Thakur, I'm a servant who has taken shelter for the Saraswati Thakur, then Babaji Maharaj immediately opened the door, affectionately put his hand on Param Gurudev's head and said, perform your sadhana bhajan fearlessly, and I personally will accept all your hardships. So Srila Gurudev said, whenever our spiritual master remembered the mercy of Babaji Maharaj bestowed upon him, he became overwhelmed with ecstatic emotion. I think I gotta skip a couple stories. So, although from a worldly point of view, Babaji Maharaj was considered uneducated, I think even maybe illiterate, was it? But he was a prominent speaker of the Bhagavatam, and people from all over India would come to hear from him. So, Srila Gorkashore Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Yeah. Mm. Somebody. Oh, yeah. So Raga's asking if there's like a hierarchy in sevas, if one's better than the other, or if one will cleanse the heart more than another. So somebody asked Srila Saraswati Thakur that same question, which seva is the highest, and he said the seva that's done with love. So yeah, so someone can be raising millions of dollars for the mat, but thinking like just business like. I'm not saying that for you at all. I wasn't thinking of you. Okay. And someone's washing, and someone's sweeping the courtyard and with tears and thinking this is what my heart is like, like, so it's whatever's done is with love is the highest. So, yeah. Haridas is saying that Santi's going to be the one who's going to raise the millions of dollars. And I'm going to be proud of it. Oh, no. Yeah. So, But I love that when I love Sharmani always. I think it comes from Prabhupada, like when she talks about how the train needs to keep moving, and that everyone the conduct like there's no train without the cleaners, like those who clean the bathrooms. Everyone thinks, oh, the conductor's so great because he has to drive this train and like navigate, and if the thing doesn't go. There's always probably crazy stuff that happens out. If the thing doesn't go down, we've heard about train accidents, and like they have to be so savvy. But still, the if there's not a ticket person, if there's not a the conductor, there's not the cleaners, there's not those who, huh? Blessed bites. You say blessed bites? Yeah. Jai, jai. Like on the Indian trains. That all that the wheel, so everyone is doing their seva, and if everyone obviously is doing it with mood, then it makes the whole. And we see even here, like even or my low state, like when we do festivals and stuff, like sometimes we're just such a well-oiled. It's so sweet. Like I'll get the van. I'll load it up. Like get the like when everyone's mood is like one, then so beautiful. All right. I don't know. We have a meeting in like 10 minutes. I don't know if we should stop here, but we kind of have to finish Koladweet because Parikrama is so quick. There's all these mats. Well, we talked about Shikeshwar Jagodiya Mat already. That was Srila Gurudev's mat that he built. I think it was 2000. Remember? I think it was 2005 or 4. Well, I came into my first Parikrama was 2001, and I was at Devananda Gaudiya Mat. Maybe it was 2003. Gurudev built Shikeshwar Gaudiya Mat, and he installed Shishirada Vinod Bihari and Varaha, Lakshmi Varaha, and and his samadhi is there. And down the street is Devananda Gaudiya Mat, which again established by Param Gurudev Bhakti Priyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj and Radha Vinod Bihari Mahaprabhu, and also Varaha Dev, Kola Dev is there. And upstairs is Param Gurudev's room. And Param Gurudev, actually, this is really interesting. He built 9 towers. The temple's 9 towers each represent one limb of Navadvipa Bhakti, the 9 types of devotional service. And the mat is divided into 9 parts, khandas. Paramartha Khanda, the printing press, where devotional literature and magazines are produced. Kirtan Khanda, where Sankirtan and lectures on Bhagavatam and other scriptures take place. Pasya Khanda, the temple where the deities are. Sevaka Khanda, where the residents of the mat live. Bhoga Khanda, the storehouse and kitchen. Govardhan Khanda, the cowshed. Vaishnav Grantagara Khanda, the library. Udana Khanda, the garden. Gyan Khanda, the bathrooms and latrines. That was interesting. These sections are divided on the basis of activities favorable to bhakti, which are to be accepted, and those unfavorable, which are to be avoided. Gyan and karma, which are devoid of bhakti, are always to be rejected, just as one rejects stool. For this reason, the bathrooms and latrines of the mat are called Gyan Kanda. It was Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's long-held desire that a deity of Shikoladev be established on the Ganga's western bank in the old Kaliya Nagar. To fulfill this desire, Srila Bhaktivinoda Keshav Goswami Maharaj has manifested the service of Shikoladev at this place. He's so cute. Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Keshav Goswami Maharaj's samadhi is there. And also Srila Vamana Maharaj's samadhi is there. Yeah. So we're not going to read about Param Gudi right now. Well, it's because this is the island where Varahadev appeared. So that's why there's Varaha deities. Jai. Srila Bhakti Viran Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Shridhar Goswami Maharaj's mat is also nearby. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Gaudiya Mat. And he's the sannyas guru of Param Gurudev. Oh, Srila Bhakti Sri Rup Sananti Maharaj also has a mat. Sri Saraswat Gaudiya Asana and Mission. He's a disciple of Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada as well. His mats are always so opulent. Very decorative. Oh, there's two more places. I don't know, but they're two very important places. Sharmani, should we wait on these two places till tomorrow? Champahati and Samudragar? We don't. No, because there's kirtan at Miami Life Center, and then there's devotees that are up at the yoga festival. So it's a lot. I think maybe she could speak this at Sunday program tomorrow. Oh, and Richardsweep, that's supposed to be you as well. I'll find out. Because Monday is the last day of Parikrama. We're going to have to do some Parikrama on Tuesday morning. How are we so behind? Okay, we'll end there. Shri Majadweep ki jai, Shri Koladweep ki jai, Shri Navadvipa Dhama Parikrama ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, Nitai Gora Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo. Haribo. They would probably like to go. The boys would probably like to go. Do you guys want to? Oh, it's an urban farm. There's like pigs. I knew. See, I knew you. I know you, Yashoda.